Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, it's 5 o'clock. So, welcome to my Wednesday live at 5. And as part of this series, I'm talking about finding you and different topics from that subject. So, this week, I'm going to talk about finding resilience with a little help from AI, just a little sprinkling. So, when we think about mums, entrepreneurs and women sharing behind the scenes, that is resilience, because let's be honest, life can throw so many curveballs. So, when you think about school runs and you think about business deadlines, broken routines, family emergencies, and the mental load that never seems to switch off, when the challenges stack up, resilience can feel like it's slipping into the background. So I just wanted to start by asking something. When was the last time you bounced back from something tough and realized that you're stronger than you thought? I'm sure that everyone that's watching this will absolutely know a time that happened, that you're not just coping, you're not just pushing through, but genuinely you're learning and growing. So I think sometimes trying to get through something is where you grow on your resilience. So I think that's important to think. And, I'd just like to say that many mums, resilience can get tangled with survival. So you know what it's like. We power through, we suppress, and we react instead of recover. So I think whilst that's totally normal, it's not where you're meant to live forever. You're meant to get out of that space and actually find your own resilience. So resilience isn't about being unbreakable. That's important to remember. It's about bending. It's about adapting and bouncing forwards, not just backwards. So when you think about bouncing backwards to where you were, the exciting part is bouncing forward. So finding your inner strength and moving forward. So when you think we are lucky that we're living in a time where support systems, community conversations and tech, especially AI, can, believe it or not, strengthen your resilience. So on the LinkedIn Live this week, I don't know if you've seen that on the LinkedIn page. I apologise, on the LinkedIn page, we've been talking about how AI can save mums up to 10 hours a week. Why does that matter? Because reducing stress and mental load can increase capacity for resilience. So again, we all know that we all struggle with juggling. There's that word. We're all juggling work and life and children. And, if you can find that extra bit of time, whether it's 10 hours a week or whether it's just a small amount of time, how good is that? I think, I don't know whether you've found this, whether you've been using it, but AI can support you in so many ways. Meal planning is a good one. I know that on our podcast last week, we were talking about that, and Kelly was saying how she uses it all the time for meal planning. Budgeting is another one. I mean, there are so many great ways that you can budget on ChatGPT, especially my favorite. Family scheduling, well-being tracking. I mean, you can do anything you want. And what you're going to do from that is you're going to free up some headspace to rest, to reflect, and to recover. So I think it's important to think that, if you can find that little bit of extra time in your week and you have that time to get that headspace, then you can recover. And that is so, so important. So although I'm saying about AI isn't going to give you resilience, of course, but it removes the friction so you can build it. So again, important to know. So, if you're feeling stretched, try asking yourself, what is this challenge teaching me? Which is obviously an important question. Where can I adjust instead of enduring? What support can I accept? And again, I don't know if you're like me, but you think you can do everything, but absolutely accept some support. It's sometimes great to do that. And what can I let go of to help to protect my energy is important, because those questions are gold. They are so, so powerful. And remember, resilience evolves. So again, once you find that resilience, and everyone can find it, but it's quite good to know that it looks different through, of course, different chapters of your life. When you think about the growth seasons of your life, motherhood, career changes, hardship, burnout, growth is so, so important. And obviously with resilience, you can grow. It's not a weakness. So if you're struggling, it's not a weakness. It's wisdom being built. So again, I know that might sound a bit cliche, but absolutely building your resilience and getting through all of those challenges that you have are amazing. And of course, grabbing that extra time for yourself, for whatever you want it for, that can help to build your resilience. So we've got a Mums on Cloud 9 Summit, and you know that you hear me talk about the podcast. And we're going to be exploring AI and how it can empower women not to do more, but to do what matters. And then with the energy left over, to find some time for yourself. And again, you might not have any time. You might have them 10 hours to do more stuff, but absolutely extra time is money, as we know. So it's definitely worth looking at that. And when you think resilience can't grow under relentless life admin, so if you're searching underneath the laundry or underneath your admin for some more time, you're not going to find it. Absolutely look into, if you haven't already, how AI can save your time and can also help you to grow. So I've got a challenge to ask you. What would you say, and we will all have times that will resonate, when something happened that made you stronger, something happened that helped you to set boundaries, something happened to spark a new direction into the next chapter of your life, and what did it teach you? What did it teach you to release? There's no wrong answer, but it's just good to stop sometimes and to think about these things. I think that is so important. And for me, I'm sure we all have a story. I'm sure that this will resonate with you in some way. But for me, my challenge absolutely made me more resilient. I'm sure anyone will tell you that. It made me stronger. It helped me to absolutely set those boundaries, and it definitely helped me to grow. So as you know, I had a new exciting career change back in 2023, and I'm still here and I still love every day. So absolutely, that resilience helped me to move forward from my previous role into this role. And I think resilience is such an important thing to have. So resilience, just to recap really, isn't always built in big dramatic moments, and probably you're sat there and you'll have one, but it's not always. It's sometimes built in small recoveries, tiny pivots, and daily choices to rise. So just something to think about there. And if tools like AI can lighten the load, they can reduce that overwhelm and give us the space to stop and breathe. Why wouldn't we use them? And I think for me, and on our last Mums on Cloud 9 podcast, which we did in a studio in London, which was great fun, I know that for me, I was saying how ChatGPT, I don't know how I got through life without it before. And I know Kelly even has a name. Kelly calls her ChatGPT Gaza. So she says, I'll ask Gaza. Obviously, I can't do that because my son's Gaz. But anyway, but if you haven't already, jump into the LinkedIn thread and share any AI tools that you find really useful, because we're helping you to reclaim that time and clarity. So if today's live resonated with you, please share it with other women, with your friends, your family, your colleagues, who might need a reminder that bouncing forward is always the way to go. Thanks for being here. Stay curious, as I always say, and keep rising stronger. You can do it. And as I say to you every week, anything you want to do, you can absolutely do. I'm always here, so find me on LinkedIn, drop me a DM. I'm always happy to talk to you. And if you've got any questions on this topic, please, as I say, reach out to me. You can get me through Mums on Cloud 9, you can get me through Super Mums, or of course you can get me through my own personal LinkedIn page. Next week, which is next Wednesday, part of the Finding You series that I'm doing at the moment, is finding balance. So it's all about redefining success by prioritizing well-being and boundaries and sustainable habits. So again, just to go back on that, please, whatever you do, just think that as a mum, as an entrepreneur, as women, we share quietly behind the scenes, which is resilience. But let's be honest, with all the curveballs, we can move forward for sure. And I just hope that you found this useful in some form. As I said, head to Supermum's website, head to Supermum's LinkedIn. Always come and find us. We are such a great community, and we're always here, and we always love to hear your stories. So as I say, I'll see you next Wednesday live at 5. And if you need me in the meantime, then I'll speak to you then. Take care. Bye.